Or maybe we can do like ventriloquism. If I just get peanut butter, then maybe I can learn how to throw my voice real quick.
There you go.
T.O.D.D was the first pedal. T.O.D.D is Tube Over Drive Distortion. My fun has been being creative with tube amps. So trying to like kind of harken back to where this all started when I was a teenager messing around with pedals, really what I knew how to do was make tube amps. So I wanted to make a pedal that was a tube amp. You have major restrictions when you're doing that, you know, especially if you want it to run on 9 volts. It's like, well, a tube runs on 160 or whatever. You get to be a little creative with the design on what makes it sound a little bit more or less like an actual tube amp. But essentially from the ground up, this was, I want to make a tube amp and a pedal, and I want it to be universal power supply, and how do we do that? And I think it does a really good job without you having to have like a, you know, 120 volt AC cable like the rest of them that has to eat up a whole nother spot on your power supplies and stuff like that. What I really wanted to get done was, I play big clean amps with a pedal board. So I always want to be able to get from big lush clean to just like ripping Marshall or whatever your distortion du jour is. My favorite for plugging right into an amp is like 72 JMP Marshall. So I would keep coming down to this bench and making a change, and then going back upstairs where I can A/B between my 64 Twin and my 72 Marshall, and I would just turn the pedal on through the Fender and A/B it to the Marshall until it sounded like it was my Marshall. So really the whole time after just, you know, getting the topography of putting a tube into a pedal was tuning it to be my big bad Marshall through the Fender. Here's the inside of it. I'm a tinkerer. A lot of people don't want to open their pedals, and that's fine. But the coolest thing to me is when you have something that is tube driven, you can try different tubes. So like I really like a few different tubes in this for a few different things, and you can tailor your own pedal. I like tailoring my own pedal, obviously. The 3 main tubes that I would try with this and own for your tube amps and stuff would be a 12AX7 is the most gain. That's your most common one for your tube amps. And that in T.O.D. is going to be more like your tweed Fender kind of sound. The power supplies in a tweed Fender are just so saturated that when you hit a note, it's kind of explosive. Sag, I think, is a big buzzword for that, where you kind of feel your power supply give up and kind of try to return back to 0. So it's real loose feeling. So then you can go down to a 12AT7 is 1 step lower gain. That's where I tend to like T.O.D. for high gain settings. So for like turning your Fender into a hot Marshall, 12AT is where I like to sit. And then going down 1 more gain range would be the 12AU7, and that makes everything pretty straightforward as far as response goes. You're not going to get any of that sag that we were getting out of the other 2. It gets cleaner as your gain goes all the way down. So if you're the edge of breakup player, like a lot of us are, you can sit there right in between clean and dirty with a 12AU7. But I think the fun is trying all 3 and like actually tailoring the pedal to be your pedal and not just what I sent you in the mail and that you just accept this is the way that it is.